progressing on this project. This is one of the greatest jewels of our city.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming visiting Gary campus, Ivy Tech Community College. The tour today will include 3 of our classrooms involved with the industrial technology program. So the first one, there won't be any students in it, but I'll let you know kind of what the main skill sets that are taught there. Second classroom we'll have a class in there this morning. We retrofit some of the labs to accommodate different kinds of classes. So we'll be seeing wiring fundamentals in there. If you want to relate to that, it's kind of like what someone would need to know to wire your home. That's some of the class that's going on in that room. Then we'll look at one of our basic electricity labs, where most of the fundamentals take place. So we'll start right now. Mayor, this classroom happens to be our S118, it's just the room number.
Okay.
Actually, in its previous life, they probably had automotive in here. The college responds to all the needs of the community, so automotive, as you know, is over in East Chicago.
Yes.
And now this is an automation classroom where we talk about robotics, the different kind of equipment that automates manufacturing. So a robot will pick up something and we teach the students how to not only repair the robot, but to program the robot. So when we tell it to go left, it actually goes left and right and does what it's trained to do.
Excellent.
So that's what occurs in here. And we don't happen to have a class going on right now, but we have classes scheduled in here.
We have computers and everybody has, this is definitely a hands-on.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The lecture and some of the theory behind the robotics occurs at the computer and on the screen with the instructor. And the students come over and program the different applications that we have to turn that lecture into a hands-on situation. So we'll go on to the next lab. It's right through here. These are all kept current on this pod of computers, so it's kind of earmarked for our technology students. It's open for everybody, but this area of the campus is pretty much industrial technology, so most of my customers are those type of students studying for industrial technology areas.
Want to get the job skills.
So this lab in here serves as motor controls, and today's class is electrical wiring fundamentals. As I kind of introduced earlier, they'll be learning how to wire, know the codes.
Is that right?
Yeah, they'll be working with this today. And you can see your typical electrical boxes, and then Pete will give them some lab. And oh, yeah.
Doorbell. Okay, fixture.
These guys are really getting into it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, on and off. Got it.
Yeah, that's good there.
So would it
You
be
gotta
that
get
box
that.
or that box?
That's the rubber meets the road on this.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Students love these labs.
31015 is the
They
wire
really get it.
amperage. I'm still looking for the
It's locked out with padlock, so until they're ready to test it,
Okay.
both of the technicians know. Yep, but they're involved in watching out for each other.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, good luck, guys. Get that A. Get that A.
Yeah.
And ladies.
So this is where classes such as basic electricity would take place. That's the entry-level class to learn all the fundamentals. And then we have some second-year 200-level courses, electrical circuits. Yeah, and now you start to see some of the probably what you would expect to see in a lab, the instruments and things. So they provide and simulate some of the signals that the students have to be able to recognize and inject as a troubleshooting procedure. And this will hold up to 16 students, and typically that class will be a 16-to-1 ratio with one instructor, and the labs can be done right in here. So you won't get through industrial technology without being in this room at least once. So it's kind of a start. And we do some math and gen eds in here too. It's shared throughout the campus. For different, any course that requires it.
Multiple uses.
Oh yeah, because there's so much space right now, and like I say, with the record numbers coming through, that's a good thing.
That sounds like
Growing pains is always right. Isn't that the kind of troubles that there's problems that you'd like to have?
Yeah.
Too much of something to try to manage. So that's always good. It is one of the classes that occurs in here, and that's the prereq. Excuse me, for all the other courses that we've discussed to this point. They all have basic electricity as a prerequisite.
Internships last.
8 weeks, and they work 40 hours a week.
Oh, that's great.
So the intention of that is the big distinctive for this program is they earn enough money in that 8 weeks to pay for their next year, their academic year actually. So it just has been a really attractive program.
Mayor, I'm sure you've seen this, but I wanted to kind of share this with you all. This is the Aerodynamic Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center for the Northwest region.
Are you good to
How
see you?
are you? It's
to see
great
you.
to see you. All
Welcome
right.
to our center.
Yeah, I've never been in your center. This is beautiful. This is
Mayor,
great.
Chuck Hughes had to wake up.
Nice, Doug.
Well, Muriel has a voice challenge this morning, so she's not going to be a full character today, so we'll excuse that. But between O'Muriel and John, if you can give us like a 1-minute synopsis of what is the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Ivy Tech Community College Northwest. I don't know if your voice will hold up.
Excuse me, John, could you please do that?
Welcome to the center dedicated to encouraging staff, students, faculty, administration, and the broader community in those 7 counties to think differently. Our business is innovative thinking. The center is broader than just the Society of Innovators, of which I serve as managing director. O'Muriel leads the entire center, which focuses on innovative projects such as an annual conference for our faculty, our adjunct faculty, to think differently and to practice creative methods in the classroom. We also work with young people, children, to encouraging them to think differently. We have a project called Dare to Dream that we launched several years ago to break down barriers across these 7 counties. And we're now working with Mayor Karen in Dare to Dream 2 to encourage innovative thinking in the South Side, in the Chicagoland area, closer collaboration. That's what a global economy is all about. How do we use our great assets? But it comes down to a student who is given inherent strengths and helping that student realize he or she can become anything that he was willing to work toward or she is willing to work toward, as well as moving this community college forward in a global economy as a to assist the chancellor and the faculty in his goals. So the center is the Gerald L. Lampkin Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, named after the first president of Ivy Tech, who thought differently and said we can have a true community college. So we try to capture that here every day. And we're proud of the fact that sometimes we work 7, almost 24 to get it done. We're about ready to honor.
You're exempt employees, so that's okay.
We're about ready to honor well over 100 individuals from the community and from the college who have assisted the chancellor and O'Meara in the center this coming Friday. So that's what we're about. We're about changing lives and making Indiana great, and our platform is innovation.
That's great.
And as we capture the addresses, we will be inviting you in October to the Society of Innovators induction, where we will be hopefully inducting 6 innovators for this particular cycle, and quite possibly a team for innovation throughout Northwest Indiana. We can ask the students to kind of come up over this way. You're going to be our quick guests for a minute. And just kind of talk with us a little bit about what your experience at Ivy Tech was like, where you are, if you're still in a program sequence or if you've graduated, and what it is you see yourself doing in the next few years, based upon what you've learned here at Ivy Tech. So we'll let you start since you were the first one here.
Alrighty.
Tell us who you are too and where you're from.
This will be the 5th week of internship at the U.S. Steel itself, so it's kind of like a hands-on training type of operation, and I'm enjoying it very much. I'm seeing a lot of things that you just can't see anywhere. A lot of how the mill operates and what goes into tempering of the coils and rolling and how they coat it and everything. It's just very interesting.
How did you end up in this program area?
I was notified by Byron about the steel workers of the future, and it just sounded like a good opportunity to to get my foot into the door.
You know, one of the challenges that we have is people in Northwest Indiana have this image of the steel mill as this big, ugly, dirty, nasty, hot place. And I'm sure that it is big, and I'm sure that it is hot. But if you can kind of talk about, does it match the picture that you thought or heard of beforehand?
Not really. It's not as dirty as people claim to be. It's nothing like in the movies, how everybody's just talking loud or obnoxious or everything. Everything is pretty well organized. Everybody has a job and a place to do. Everything has, like a certain job order, and it really seems like, they know what they're doing.
Okay, great. We can pass the microphone over and let my lockout man talk here.
There you go, lockout man.
I thought it was going to be last. So,
Tell us who you are, how you ended up here, and what you're doing.
okay, well, my name is Stephen Richard. I'm an MET major.
What is MET?
MET is Maintenance Technical Electrician.
Got it.
So, actually, I only have about 5 more classes before I get my associate's degree.
Great.
My experience with ArcelorMittal, it's been pretty overwhelming, but it's been also a very interesting and exciting experience. I have to say, when I first started the internship, I was a little bit nervous because they are very big on safety, and they really enforce that a lot. We were very well prepared. They showed us multiple videos. They even showed us fatality reports and the things that they're doing to improve on that. And so far, from my experience, they are doing a very good job. I work in the blast furnace section, and every Tuesday morning we actually have what is called a team meeting where they will go over past injuries, what they're doing to improve on that, and they also go over production issues as well. And I think that is a very good idea to pretty much keep everybody informed so nobody is just left guessing. The guys that I work with, they're a pretty interesting bunch. They look out for my safety and they teach me a lot. Like I said, as an entry-level electrician, it's a lot to take in right now. But I think to get that hands-on experience and just even learning a little bit there, it actually boosted my confidence up to know that I can be better prepared in the future for when I do decide to work with Arcelor.
Good. Thank you. Okay. My name is Michael Robbins. I'm originally from Gary. I've been a casino dealer for some time, and I just really grown kind of bored with the work field, so I got back into college. Originally, I had an interest for electricity with NIPSCO. They have some electrical lineman courses here, and I had a change of heart with that. And like I said, my interest has always been electricity, so I decided to change my major into the EMT program, which is electrical maintenance technician, just like Steve said. And thus far, it's been a great learning experience. I mean, pretty much everything he said, I feel the same way. It's a great learning experience. The steel mill, I would say, it's probably not for everybody because the working conditions can be different based on what department you in, but overall, as far as picking up technical trades and learning, it's a great experience. I work with experienced electricians, and they go around troubleshooting and they problem solve, because when production is down, money is being lost. So what we have to do is we have to get production back going so that the profit margins aren't really, don't take a significant loss. So that would be about it for me, I guess.
How did you talked about starting with the NIPSCO energy program and transitioning across. What caused you to shift over from that program to this one?
With NIPSCO, it was, I don't know exactly how to say it, but okay. One thing about my internship with ArcelorMittal, and Tom Box told me about it, by the way. And Tom was like, "Hey, you might want to go to East Chicago because ArcelorMittal is coming in." So when we went to the Gaza Center in East Chicago, and they were just the representatives there were just telling us, okay, this is our need, this is our goal, this is where we're trying to get. And they told us because of the baby boomer generation that they have a lot of guys that's retiring, so they're trying to fill in this gap. And the thing about it is most of the baby boomers are the most experienced guys because they've been there from day one. They have like 30, 40 years. So and with that being said, when I heard the representatives at ArcelorMittal speak, they said that for the next 4 to 5 years we need about 300 new students, and they referred to the steel workers of the future program. And for me to get my degree, this class was a requirement. So I said, why not? I mean, an internship, I can get my my college credit and still get experience. I don't think you can beat that anywhere. So, it was a real good learning experience.
Yeah, because the energy program that you talk about, Mayor, if you're not familiar with it completely, it's a consortium program that we have established through Ivy Tech Community College with the northern, central, and southern parts of the state and the 3 primary utilities. NIPSCO up in this area, Duke Energy in the central Indiana area, and Vectren in the southern portion. And the technology staff have gotten together across the Ivy Tech system, designed a curriculum specifically for the electrical worker, if you will, which does do a lot of the basic electricity here, but it is lineman functioning. it's the meter reading, it's the different things that happen within the electrical industry, within the utility industry, to help prepare those individuals again for entree into those particular areas. And the nice thing is there's some parallel and crossover that can occur. So students like this, you start off in one area, didn't quite match up for whatever reason, you can shift over. A lot of your courses, I'm going to presume, transferred right across. You're not doing a lot of makeup work in the process. You just brought it right in, you just picked up where you needed to be for the other degree, if you will. So that flexibility is something that's very nice for us to have here.
Sorry. I think you hit it on the head. Thank you. You go.
Said it all, everything. I don't have much more to add.
They didn't tell us who you are, where you're from, what you're doing here.
I'm John Pavletic, and I live in Hobart, and I've gone to all three Ivy Techs in the Northwest Indiana, but I've finished up in East Chicago. I'm in the Manufacturing Industrial Technology program with a CNC machining emphasis, and I'm so happy to be in this program. This has been the greatest thing, and I hope it works out that I can get hired in at one of the mills, preferably ArcelorMittal. They've been really good to me. I've learned a lot out there, and they are really big on safety. Everything you do, doesn't matter what guy you're with, they're all safety first. You know, hey, we need to go and get this safety equipment for this project today. Just everything, and they've made sure all of us have been safe, and I've been really happy out there.
I'm going to toss a general question out to the students. One of them is, how did you pay for your education in terms of that particular process? Because that's been asked of me. And then the second one, what is it that we at Ivy Tech can be doing to help you further along in terms of helping you have a better or more substantive academic experience, if any?
I used financial aid. As far as additional education, I think they've done a pretty good job. I had Tom Box for electricity, and I've had Byron Butterfield in East Chicago and Fred Scrum for the machining, and they go above and beyond, teach even a little bit more. They even show us how to do pipe threaders, all kinds of different things that didn't necessarily pertain to machining, but they felt we needed to know for this kind of day.
Okay, good. How'd you get through here?
Well, first I enrolled, this was in 2006, and I applied for the welding aspect of it. BP was talking about their outages in the newspapers and everything, so I kind of wanted to jump on that bandwagon. I initially, I paid the first year, the first 3 semesters, and I was lucky enough to qualify for the financial aid after. And so far everything has been great. Everything has been working past my expectations. And for the most part, I would say the best. I'm kind of more of a hands-on training type of person, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it the best. I feel like I learn more through that because people could tell you, how to hold your rod for welding, what rod angle to use, what speed, or what type. They could tell you that, all day long, but until you actually do it, that's when you really know. And it's still, after they told you about 4 or 5 different times, it's still going to take you about 4 or 5 different times to really get the feel of your work and how to weld and everything.
Good. Thank you.
I started off HVAC actually, and the way that I did most of my funding was through financial aid and grants. And to answer your question, I think that the Ivy Tech does a wonderful job because so far with me, like with the Steel Workers of the Future program, it's been cut and dry. Like, I mean, it's been no loopholes. They said, okay, if you're selected for the internship, you will go into this internship and you will do A, B, C, D. and exactly just like they explained it to me is what happened. And you know, that's what I like about it. Like John was saying, they've been taking real good care of us. They provided our greens, our steel-toe boots. They even fed us free lunch for like the first 3 days. You know? So, you know, if I would suggest to anybody, if they're serious about, you know, advancing their career or their future, and they was considering Ivy Tech, I would definitely recommend them because I'm an example, I think.
And you all are unprepped for this, right? We didn't talk to you and tell you what.
We were going to ask that question, Chance.
Yeah.
No, really, extra credit.
Well, of course, I've always been interested in the electrical field, and when I started attending Ivy Tech, which was late back in 2008, I was a little unsure of it because I wasn't sure how well I would perform in this type of environment. But I've had really good mentors such as Tom and Byron Butterfield, who's actually one at the East Chicago campus. And they just basically guided me through step by step. And the more I got deeper into my field, the more confident I felt. And I learned a lot of material along the way. The way I funded my education was through a lot of student loans, a whole lot. But
If I asked you for a ballpark of what you owe at this point, what would that be?
40,000. Because it's I've actually started my education elsewhere. That's why.
Okay.
So, but as far as the program itself, I think Ivy Tech does a wonderful job. The internship that ArcelorMittal has agreed to partner up with Ivy Tech, I think is an even better idea as well, because there are a lot of future students out there who probably don't understand the full aspect of a steel mill. And so to get out there and do hands-on experience, and it actually helps them to give an idea of whether it is that they really want to pursue an interest in that field or go elsewhere. And me personally, I love the experience that I have, and by it being an industrial setting, I would like to have some commercial experience, but then again, I would also like to have that experience as well, because I noticed that a lot of guys that I work with, they have years of experience, and I would love to be at the level that they are someday.
Mayor, Mr. Bennett, any questions you may have with the students along the way?
No, I'm just so pleased to have had an opportunity to come today and to hear from the students, to see in firsthand what is going on here at Ivy Tech. I always say to people and recommend the college to people, because I know you do so many things in the industrial realm as well as in the health alliances, but to come and get a firsthand account of how the education here has helped these students and how they've been able to apply it to one of our critical industries in this community has been just invaluable. So thank you all. And thank you, Chancellor.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, just want to say that just admire your program, what you're doing out here, but love the attitudes of these young men here, you know, their vision in terms of their future and what they're willing to do. And admire, you know, how they feel about your program. So, you know, just commend them on sticking with this and working with it, and hope to get a chance to come back out for their graduation.
Which is one of the points that, and you know, thank you for the compliments and for the comments. You know, I really have to acknowledge Margaret Summer. Dr. Summer is the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and she's the one that rides herd over the group, if you will, not just in industrial technology, but in the School of Business, the School of Public Services, I'm going to draw a blank on them all. The 6 schools that we have at Ivy Tech, and is really, you know, responsible for the overall programming in that area. So Dr. Summer, thanks so much for what you do to help guide there. And then the other staff, Renee Vella is a part-timer with us. He's one of those old guys at ArcelorMittal that you guys are looking to replace. He used to be over at ArcelorMittal. We have him now with us part-time, helping to coordinate some of the efforts of the Steelworker program. Mike Waros is our Assistant Vice Chancellor, I believe, and he's one of our outreach individuals who's working a lot with the program as well. And then, of course, you know, Tom's name has been mentioned countless times, as Byron Butterfield's, and the other faculty who are involved. And so it really is a team effort that goes into, not just in this case, the industrial technology program, but everything that we do at Ivy Tech, because not one of us alone, whether it be the corporate college or the academic side or the service side, can function without the other parts of it. And so it really does, help for us to get the feedback from the students and the great things that you're doing in terms of helping us look good, because if you're not succeeding, we're not succeeding. So we really do want to push you for that. I'm a little concerned that I heard your debt amount in the 2006, 2009 start periods. We're an associate degree granting institution. You're supposed to be finished with us in a 2-year sequence. What's happened in your lives that have kept you from graduating with an associate degree in more than 2 years?
Well,
and I hope I'm not getting too personal on this, but this is important.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I actually I moved out of my parents' house when I was 19 years old, and originally I attended Purdue Calumet, which everybody knows that's a pretty pricey school to attend. Being young and moving out at such a very early age as 19, there was a lot of personal things that affected my life, which it caused me to maybe take out a $10,000 loan for the rather be the semester or the year. And just because of unexpected events, it may have forced me to not complete that semester. And so even though my classes were paid for and I didn't earn any credits for it, I still accumulated that debt. So.
And when do you graduate?
I was supposed to graduate this semester, well, this upcoming semester, but a couple of classes that I had kind of coincided with each other, so it got pushed back to next spring.
Okay. So spring of 13, we'll see you walk.
Yes.
Great.
All right.
No, Chancellor, not with the debt withstanding, I still think that this gentleman should be commended for his ability to stick to it.
That's right.
I mean, because, that debt will be paid, but the training that you're gonna get is invaluable, and what you're gonna do for yourself, your family, and our community is invaluable as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
just wanna share that with you.
Yeah.
How about you? Tell us a little bit about what your sequencing has been. And how come you're not graduating in 2 years?
The reason I haven't graduated in 2 years is because I have a family, and I was a late bloomer. Like when I first went to college when I was 19, and at the time I wasn't mature, and I got back into the work field, and then eventually I decided I wanted to grow, and then that took me until 30, and 30 was when I went back to school. So by that time, I already had my family and my wife and everything. So when you put this into the equation, whether you in school or not, it's a challenge because you still going to school and then you have to still provide for your family. So if I wasn't working, I would have had my degree in 2 years. I mean, I made the dean's list twice. I'm serious about my education, but it's just your livelihood.
Yeah.
And I think that's one reason Ivy Tech is a community college. Correct me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because a community college is a college where you're not staying in a dormitory or whatever.
Correct.
Right. So yeah.
You can go to night school,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
That's kind of what I did. I just went part-time. I was working and going part-time. But I did graduate in May, and I've received my diploma, so I'm pretty happy.
Here we go.
And the other day, leaving ArcelorMittal for the day, this was yesterday, the security guard, you show him your pass to get in, you show him your pass to get out. And he looked at my pass and he goes, "Why does this pass look like this?" And I said, "Well, I'm an intern. I'm from Ivy Tech." And he says, "Aren't you a little bit old to be an intern?" Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So no, I'm starting over. I had 22 years in at Anderson Company, Anco wiper blades,
Okay.
and so I'm kind of starting my life over. So I'm so thankful for this program. Yeah, so I'm really happy.
Good.
Well, I graduated, but it did not take me 2 years. I graduated in 4. I went to school for a year, and then it was kind of like Mike over here, started working again, and it's just really working and going to school is just a very big plate to fill. And now I could have probably, worked and went to school at the same time, but I don't think my grades would have been as good as they were. And it just,
It's a challenge.
Yeah, yeah. You're able to put forth that effort a lot more into when you're, going full time, and the distractions aren't there. It's been a exciting journey, really, and it's still carrying through.
Well, you all are so typical of the students that we serve, not just in the Northwest region, but throughout the state of Indiana with Ivy Tech. 60 to 65% of our students are part-time. And so you're not unusual as a part-time student. That is why the community college exists, in order to provide that sort of opportunity. You're probably about the right proportion as well, because about 45% of our population is male. And so there's 4 of you here, and so if we had 6 female here, that's our student body in general. The family aspect, 60% of our population has family, and of that, 75% of the population is a single parent. And so I don't know what your circumstances are there, but that's the population that we work with. And so again, programs like this that we can provide that are going to have that opportunities. Life happens, life gets in the way, and the fact that you all are able to, as examples, to whether it's a restart or a fresh start or a first-time start in the process, to find what it is you're going to be doing for this part of your life. We're very thankful that you chose Ivy Tech and that we can provide those services for you, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Progressing on this project. This is one of the greatest jewels of our city.